Hello everybody, it's the Dinkizzler here. Welcome to another Gamemaker tutorial. This is Gamemaker Studio 1.4. I'm not brave enough to move over to Gamemaker Studio 2 quite yet. And this is a laser tutorial, a tutorial on lasers. Basically, lasers and stuff that you can aim in whatever direction that you want. And basically it'll like stretch out as far as like a block or something will allow it to go. So, I will set some things up here really quick. So I'll show you what I have so far as basically just a basic setup for just a basic game, right? And we'll see if this works. It should. We've got our guy, right? Basically, I've made this little alien-looking dude. He'll like hop around. Gravity's pretty high. I'll have to change that. You see, he's got like this claw-like gun type thing. So basically, this isn't really a part of the tutorial at all. If you want to like get an idea of how to do something like that, then I would check out my platformer shooter tutorial to maybe set up a system like this. But basically, this is just to put some sort of environment in which we can set up our laser. And there we go, bam. Now we're getting a little bit better. Whoop. Jumping all around. So we can't do anything yet because, like I said, we're just, and our guy's like flipping around nice and easy. Nice. So let's get our laser in, shall we? So first off, we actually need a laser. I left this part out. I normally set this kind of stuff up beforehand, but I decided not to this time. So we're going to do sprite laser just to kind of show you how to set this up. So what its width is going to be 1 pixel. All right, for at least the one that I'm going to be doing here. There are ways that you can modify it to make it do whatever. So I want our laser to mostly be like teal because that kind of is like the color of our guy, and then like just like that. We're gonna give it a little bit of an animation. Probably gonna go like copy that a few more times. Boop boop boop. This will be like unnoticeable from like this standpoint because this is 4 pixels. I can't stress that enough that it's just 4 pixels. But basically, then what I'm gonna do is like replace that and that and make them little. How many of those are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're gonna copy this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's like minuscule. But we'll be able to see the difference. And then all I want to do is center that, which is going to be like nothing. So it's fine. That's like our laser. That's what we're going to start off with right now. So we are going to actually make this a script. That way we can put it wherever. And we're going to say ser draw laser. All right? This is going to be pretty easy. So we're going to go dash 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 ser draw laser. We're going to set up our little comment right here so that we can know what to put in. We want to put in direction. And I think direction. That's pretty much it, actually, as far as this goes right now. So, what we have is angle, we'll call it, and we're going to say argument, bracket, parentheses, 0, except I spelled this wrong. We take that E out there. There we go. So then we got ourselves an angle. Then what we have to do, and we have to say length, all right? We're going to call this a var. This also has to be a var. There we go. Length. And we're going to say this equals 0. I will do a little bit. We can actually expand this a little bit though. X, comma, Y, comma. There we go. So we can put a starting location and a direction. That way we can put everything in there. That means this is going to be 2. I apologize if I'm a little scatterbrained today. I'm running on like low batteries. So this is like my brain is going to be slow, and I'm kind of like doing these live tutorials where I'm kind of programming and kind of coming up with it as we are here. So forgive me if I'm a little slow, but it'll be okay. All right, so what I just did there, I added 2 more vars, temporary variables called XX and YY. That way we get the X and the Y, and then we'll have the direction of this laser. All right, that way you can use this to draw lasers wherever you want. Length. Start with there. So now we're going to say 4. And then we're going to say I equals 0. Nope, we're not going to do that. Wow. And then we're going to say, all right, not collision. And I'm going to say maybe point. We're going to say point. We're going to say XX plus length dir underscore x. And in here, we're going to put length 1 direction angle. All right, comma yy plus length dir underscore y. Length is 1 angle and direction is angle. Object is object block. Precision true. Not me also true. Parenthesis parenthesis. All right, basically this is what we're going to be doing. We have like our XX where we're going to be starting with like our XX and Y is what we're starting with. And so basically we're saying we're going to take this angle where we're shooting it from, and while, right, like this will just keep repeating as long as the next pixel in that angle that we're like pointing it towards is not a block, we're going to add to it. So we're going to say XX plus equals length dir x. Length is 1, direction is angle. XX plus equals length dir underscore y, 1 angle. So basically it'll just keep adding to this x and y until we get something unless we get something to hit. Then all we're going to do is draw sprite underscore ext. Yeah. And we're going to say sprite equals SBR laser subimage 0. Well, for now it's just going to be 0. We're going to fix that in a minute. X is XX. Oh my goodness. See what I mean? Like, this is going to be weird. Alright, let's take this out. Let's make this length. Because I had this all in my head. We're going to say length plus plus here. Alright. Bear with me for a second. This is going to be length. This 1, that's going to be length. Good heavens. So we're going to XX, YY, X scale is length. That's why we needed to do that. Y scale is 1, rotation, angle, color, white, alpha, 1. Holy cow. Alright. Just take a second look at that and make sure that all makes sense. Just to make sure. Alright? Now this should do a thing. If not, there's another thing we can do. But let's try this out for now. Let's go to our player. Let's go to draw. This is all like other stuff right here, so you don't have to worry about that. What we want to do is if mouse button check, mouse check button, yes, and B for mouse button, and we want to do left. Parentheses, then we're going to say SCR draw laser. Alright, X is X, Y is Y, direction is aim. Aim is the variable where I'm storing the direction of the mouse, because we're going to be like going in the direction of the mouse, but you can do this in whatever direction that you want. You just put in the angle. For us, aim is whatever direction the mouse is being faced towards, which is being set here. Aim is equal to point direction X, Y, mouse, and whatnot. Now, I can foresee some problems. However, okay, yeah, it's okay. It actually worked. It wasn't as weird as I thought. See, we have like a laser that we shoot, and it's like pretty great, huh? We can kind of, oh, there you go. We can kind of jump around and be like shoot like a laser, but it's like coming from our arm, not really the tip of our gun. So we can change that a little bit. Like luckily we have, with this being the way it is, we can change the way things are. So we can go back into our draw event, and we can go X plus the same function, length dir X, and we can say like 6, and dir is aim, dir length dir Y. We're gonna do 6 comma aim. So basically, this is going to move the X and Y of where our laser is going to start 6 pixels towards where we're aiming. That length there, if you don't know it already, it does like it gets like coordinates based off a length and an angle, so it gets like X and Y coordinates. It's really useful actually. So now we can see that it's kind of more coming out of the front of the gun, which is a lot better. So then we just want to add a little bit more to make it a little bit more pizzazz as we carve through some stuff. So let's give this a little bit of pizzazz. Let's go to our player. So these are just like things as far as platforming goes. We don't need to worry about this. For here, we want to do frame. Frame is equal to 0. This is going to give our gun animation instead of us. So in here, in our draw event, in our mouse check button, we want to put frame plus plus. I'm also going to put another thing here that says if mouse check button pressed, yes, MB left. I'm going to put parentheses or curly brackets, and I'm going to say frame is equal to 0. Basically what this frame is that this is going to animate just our laser and our laser alone, and it's going to start over whenever we repress the mouse button. So when it's pressed, like that instant that it just gets pressed, it'll set the frame to 0, and then as it's being held, it'll keep adding 1 to the frame and go to the animation. We just need to input this variable somewhere else into our script right here. We just got to come to sub image right here for our laser, and we just want to put in frame. Alright, sweet. And there we go. As far as almost as we go. Here we go. As you can see, our laser is kind of like pulsing now. Because that's like the animation that I made for it. It's kind of giving like a pulsy laser type thing. Of course, you want to do your laser animation different, however you want it. But this is how I'm doing this. And it kind of starts over and stuff like that. So we got a nice little zoom laser. I personally, though, because then, as you can see, we get weird things like this where the laser just kind of stops. Alright? So, we're instead now going to go into another animation and kind of do another thing just to kind of fix that. So let's make another sprite. Let's call this SPR laser, and we're going to call it end, _end. And we're going to make this a little bit wider, like 8:8, which isn't very big, but in our game standards it is. So I'm going to kind of use the same colors that we were doing before, 255. I think it was this one right here. I'm going to make like a circle right here, and then we're gonna make it like blue like this, and we're probably gonna do like 2 layers of that as well. Let's go across like this and add these right there, and then we want to kind of do a same tip of the thing, except I want to make this animation a little bit shorter. I want to make this 4 frames. So let's add this one, and then let's go in here and let's make it smaller, because then what we can do is we can just take this out and put it just like this is the middle, and then we can get our blue guy right here and kind of go like this, and then we're going to copy this and go 1 2 3, and it's going to be kind of our that's kind of big. That's a big difference right there. Like, I can see how that can look pretty good, but you know, I don't like it too much. So let's just go back and do it again. I think what'll end up happening is that I will instead just take off this outer layer. So make it not quite as thin. Let's give it a little bit of a better look. And then let's boink, and let's do that. See, that looks a lot better. So now let's center this in the middle, as we've got our little end animation for our laser. And you can, of course, make it whatever you want. Then we're going to go right here into our laser script. We're going to draw sprite, and this can just be normal. So we can just say XX, which is our starting X. We're going to go length dir _X. For our length, we want length. For direction, we want angle. Except for this is I always mess this up. I always want to do X and Y first. So we're going to get to this, but we want our SPR laser end first, comma, sub image, frame, comma. Then we have our XX stuff Then we have our YY stuff. YY plus length dir Y. Length, comma, angle, bam, bam, done. Alright. Take a second look at that. So now basically what we're doing is that this is our the start of our laser, right? We're going to go find the coordinates for the X and Y position to the length of our laser, right? So we're going to find that X and Y to that length that we have found out for us at the angle that we've inputted. And we're going to draw like this little explosion thing to cover up a little bit of that end and to make it look a little nicer. Woo! Alright. So hopefully that'll work. So now you can see at the end of the laser, it's kind of got this little end bit here. So now, like, whatever angle we put it at, the laser actually looks really nice. And it's kind of got these, like, alternating, like, animation stuff like that. So now the laser looks pretty good. We can, like, shoot stuff and stuff. And then last thing I'm going to do, well, we're going to do one more thing. We're going to do enemies and stuff. But I actually want to put the gun on top of the laser. So we're going to put our laser, draw our laser. Then I want to put our gun, because that's our gun right there. And then I want to make this 4 and 4. So basically we're going to bring the laser closer to the gun and then make it so the gun's like outside the laser. So if we run that, so these are like purely aesthetic things for this. So as you can see, now it looks like the laser's coming right from the center of that gun. We back away. You know, it all just goes forward and stuff like that. Kind of neat, kind of cool, pretty fun. But now we want to use this to like damage things, I think. Yeah, let's use it to damage things. So first we need to make an enemy. So let's go SPR enemy. And let's make this 16 by 16 because that's the kind of grid size that we're going for here. And I'm going to make this a really just basic enemy. We're going to make it red just to show it is enemy. By the way, I think I've mentioned some things like this before, but my Gamemaker is modified just slightly, and nothing like crazy, but just as in like, as you can see, this is Gamemaker Studio, but it's all like, it looks like Gamemaker 8 because you can change the like the skin. That's what it is, like the skin of Gamemaker in like the preferences and things like that. Because I started using Gamemaker with Gamemaker 8, so that's why when I got Gamemaker Studio, I set it like this because it looked more familiar for me. I had to keep my backgrounds like red, just like these red. So these aren't actually like red pixels, as you see, I'm like erasing and like nothing's happening. That's actually just the background that I use. All right, so we got our enemies right here. Let's center those. These aren't going to do anything but get hit. So object enemy. Nothing crazy. We're going to do object enemy. Let's make it so create event. Let's just put in some health. HP equals, I don't know. We can do it just 100 just so we can do it simply with the health bars. Just make HP 100. In the step event, we want to say if HP is less than or equal to 0, because that would be death. We want to say instance destroy. I also want to apologize also if you hear music in the background. You may not be able to, but I do, because there's just music happening that I don't control. So hopefully you guys don't hear and doesn't bother you too much. So that's that. HP done. Let's just go in our draw event and let's set this up real quick. Let's just say draw health bar, right? We're gonna do this really quick. X minus, we're in really small things, so 10. Y minus, let's see if we're 16 by 16. Yeah, we can do Y minus 10. Let's do X plus 10. Y minus 12. Amount, HP, back color, black. No, dark gray, because our background is black. Minimum color, we're just gonna do red. Maximum color, also red. Direction, 0. Show back, true. Show border, true. Alright. We have a very basic enemy here. They don't react to gravity or anything, so that means we can just kind of put them and make them all float around. The room is very small. We can take off the grid. This is how big our room is, so we can put a bunch of enemies here. Alright. So we can run this, and we can basically, all that we'll see is that they'll have health bars and stuff. And they're invisible, which makes total sense, because we need to go to our enemy, and we need to do boink, draw, self, boink. There we go. We just got to make it so they're actually, drawing themselves, instead of canceling themselves out by drawing the health bar. So there we go. So right now our laser doesn't do anything to them. There are two ways we could do it. Because if we want our laser to stop at the enemies, all right, we just got to go to our draw laser, and we got to like kind of extend this out. But we got to copy this right here, boink in the middle, and we say, and not collision, this whole thing, collision point, blah, 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 with object enemy. This could be really easy because this could be like an object block like parent that all of your other blocks fall under, and this could be like an enemy parent that all your enemies fall under, so that way it'd make your code really small and concise. But by doing this, now we can have it to where we actually hit enemies as well, which is kind of fun. So we got our enemies here, but let's actually make it so we can damage them, alright? So we're going to make a new sprite. We're going to say SPR laser mask, alright? And we want to make this 1, 4, the same exact as our actual laser. And we're going to make this black. This is kind of how I do damaging effects and stuff like this. We want to center this as well, just like our laser. Just so they're similar. I can actually put this kind of like maybe above it or something like that. And so now what we can do is we can make an actual object. We're going to call it object laser, and we're going to call it like hit. Like this is going to be our actually hit box of the laser. Laser mask. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to go animation end. Boink. And then we're going to say instance destroy. That's everything we're going to do here. Because basically this is just going to be here. And then die. Like pretty much, right? Because this ensures that it's here for one frame. Like one step. So it'll, like, will be the actual thing that does damage to enemies. It'll be there for that one step and then it'll die. So it only procs the hit on the enemies once. So enemies, we can say collision with laser hit, right? We can say HP minus equals other point damage, because we're going to give our laser damage, right? And that's what we can do. Now we need to actually make the laser. So we're going to do some firing things. We're just going to say damage for 1. We're going to make our damage, let's say 10. And then we're going to do our rate, like our fire rate. So we're going to say fire rate. And the way I'm going to do this is a little bit different. I also want it to be, so yeah, let's actually make our damage 2. Let's make our fire rate 10. As in, this is saying, I want the laser to do damage 10 times a second. That's what we're going to use this for. All right. So let's go to our step event. This is all of our movement stuff. So what I like to do, I like to split things up. So I'm going to put it in new code and put dashes, and we're going to say fire laser, all right? Because we're drawing the effect for it already. Now we actually want to do the damage part. So we're going to say if alarm 0 equals -1. And then we can pause there, because then we want to add an event, alarm 0. In here, we just want to put a comment, triple comment, that just says end alarm. We have to put something in the event for this event to trigger. So that way here we can say, oh, if this is over, we can shoot the laser again. So in here, so if alarm 0 equals 1. First, however, we want to say if mouse button check. Mouse check button, that's what it is. MB left. Because I mix it up every single time. Bracket, curly bracket. Let's tab this forward. That's the way I like to do it. Other curly bracket. Here we go. Then, we were going to say, first, alarm 0 equals room speed, which is going to be 60, divided by fire rate. So that'll give us our 10 times a second. Yeah. And then, we're going to say with instance create X and Y. We're going to say object laser hit. So we're going to be creating a new object, and then inside of that object, we're going to run these codes. We're going to say image angle equals other point aim. All right, so we're going to tilt it in the direction that we're aiming at. We're going to say image x scale, or how wide it is going to be other point. Ooh, we need to make this length so our boy knows where to go. That's okay though, because all we got to do is we got to go to our code laser. We need to make this not a variable. Boink. I mean, not just a var. And then we need to go to our player, and we need to put it in here. We got to do length equals 0. So we need to initialize it, and then we're going to use it in there. That way, in our player, as we go fire laser, it can grab that variable and use that as a length. And then I will say damage equals other point damage. That should be everything, to be honest. The only other thing is that this laser hit, we want to make this invisible, because it's like an invisible like hitbox type thing. The other laser is just an effect. So that's kind of why I'm splitting them up too, is because that way if you just want to draw a laser, you can use this just to make this code and use it in your game. But if you want to do damage, you can go into the codes and like here and like do damage. I hope this works. It should. We should be in good shape. Except there's probably one thing I got to do, because it may not actually damage the enemies, depending on how we do it. Yeah. And that's okay, because there's one more thing we got to do. Because we want to go to our player, step, fire laser. We actually want to make image x scale length, and we're going to add like 4 to it, maybe even 6. So this is going to ensure that the length of our hitbox is going to go a little bit further than the effect, because our laser is actually stopping right before it hits an enemy. So what we want to do, what we're doing is like basically going in and making it so it's going to reach a little bit further. So as we shoot an enemy, as you can see, his health is dropping now. Boom, and then he's dead. So then our laser keeps going. And then we can keep shooting it at this guy. Boom, and we killed that guy too, which is a little weird. I'm not sure why that happened, and why we're shooting this guy too. This is getting weird, guys. Like, this is getting really weird, because we shot like both of those. Image X scale. Let's see what's happening. Let's figure this out. So first, I think what I want to do is go in and make this laser mask red. That way we can see it. Let's go into our mask and make it red. Boink. Alright, and then what we can do is we can go to our draw event and we can comment this out. And then we can go in here and we make it visible. So now we're actually going to see where our damage is actually going. So as you can see, like, nothing's happening right now. Not anymore. We're not actually shooting our laser because... But see, now we're not hitting anything. Oh, but because we're not actually getting length. I see what's happening. So we actually need to bring this out so that we can get length so it knows where to go. But what we can do is that we can just go into our script and we can comment these out. Boink, 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 boink. This is not my favorite thing when we're doing like a tutorial and stuff, because like this really should be figured out beforehand when you're asking me. So we are hitting this guy, but I don't know why we're hitting all those guys too, you know? Do you see that? Because like they're all taking damage too. But you see our hitbox is going here though. Like that's where the hitbox is going. That's weird. I wonder why, because like because we can see our hitbox right here. That's where it's going. But like it was hitting like other guys. Cause like look, it's killing that guy, but it's not even near him. Look at that. Huh. And like this isn't even hitting this guy and it's hitting him. But then like there it's like not, you know? But like I bet if I angled this somewhere else, we could get it to like hit him. This is weird. This is really weird. I'm not sure why it's doing this, Because we can see very clearly our red hitbox right here. Because we're taking the effects away and we're making this visible. And this should be all the area that's affected, right? Because this is its actual sprite, this is its actual mask. And its mask should be the same as the sprite. So why are we hitting multiple enemies? Because we have object laser hit. HP equals other point damage. Makes sense. But that means a collision needs to actually take place. And then this just draws that, and that should be there. Huh. Animation in goes, that's what's ensuring it to go one step. Length is good, because we're just doing length plus 6. You know, right here in our, not our move player, our fire laser, just length plus 6, other point length plus 6. We're changing the angle first, and then the X scale. But this is all happening in the same step before it even goes, and it's short, so it shouldn't be hitting anything before it rotates. Is the aim thing just... Because I wonder if it's just mixing up, but it's not. Like, we can clearly see the actual hitbox of the, you know, of our guy. We can see the hitbox of our guy. So that doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something like critical here and crucial here. But, like, I don't really know where I'm going wrong. I don't know where we're going wrong, guys. Either way, that would be how I would go about doing this. But obviously, it's not right. So we're shooting that guy up. No one else is taking damage. But if we like shoot this guy, see, we're not even hitting him. But we're hitting him. You know? We're hitting this guy. Either way, that's basically the gist of it, though. Because even if we don't take this out, we can still just take that out. And we can still just put our draw back in, and we still got our laser and stuff like that. And so hopefully, I mean, if someone knows what that's all about in the comments, because maybe I'm just doing something, maybe I'm doing it just a weird way. I don't know what. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and please leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you want to see more of this, and I will see you guys next time. Adios.